Alright, so let's get right into it. I was sent assets for the Strikers mobile game. I had to sign an agreement not to use the assets for anything other than the game. But when you look at the assets they sent me, you can see these football fields, and you can see like the opposition players. Basically everything looks as if they expect a top-down 2D game. So this would be your own players from the back. You see them from their back view. They are coming from the bottom of the screen going to the top, and they only sent me 8 player profiles including the keeper, so it's obvious they weren't expecting 11 players on the team. So I looked at all that and realized, well, if I'm going to do a top-down game, I'm still going to make it 3D. I didn't see any reason to use 2D because first of all, they said they wanted a WebGL game, and WebGL allows you to render 3D graphics in a browser. So why would I stick to 2D? It's supposed to be one of the advantages of WebGL, the fact that I can do 3D. So yeah, this is what I had done before it occurred to me to start recording my work. So you can move around. As at this point you can move around, you can pass, and yeah, let me try passing to the other guy right now. Okay, I mean you can't really tell when I'm passing, but yeah, and I was using these stick men as placeholders till I got the stick men I used for the final version. If you look at the bottom left, you can see the console log saying passed. So yeah, now I just shot. You can see shot at the bottom left right there after the last place that says passed. I know it wasn't too obvious, so let me do it from the side so that you can see it better. Yeah, so there isn't actually a shoot animation, but at least you see the ball fly that way. So before I can continue like making actions, I need to actually set up the structure for the game. So this is everything we need to have: create achievement system, create leaderboard system, add sound effects for kicking and other play actions, in-match commentary, replay feature, multiplayer. These guys are joking. So these are all the things we need to add: achievements, leaderboards, replay feature, commentary, unlockable activity abilities, multiplayer. Actually, there's no way I was going to finish all this before the competition is done. But yeah, let's see. I have to finish the passing feature because right now when you pass the ball, it doesn't. The other player doesn't actually take control of the ball. You just pass it to them and then you go and get it. So yeah, I need to complete the passing feature so that the control switches. But we're going to start with this. I'm going to have to create a match class. A class is like a template. Yeah, that's the easiest way to explain it to a non-programmer. A class is a template. So I'm going to have to create the template for the matches before I can create a match. And the reason I have to do this now is that if I'm going to hand over control of the ball to the player you're passing to, then I need to be sure that that player is on your team and not on the other team. So let's see, this is the match class, and well, I'm just going to delete the template code that comes with it so that I can add my own code. So if you're a developer, you can watch the full version. Well, if you're just watching to see the basics of what I do, how we go about making a game, you can watch the short version of the video where I will just fast forward some of these parts and cut some things out for you. So I'm going to cut the video at this point for the short version. Developer video, which is also available on this YouTube channel, will have the full version of all the coding I did. And so I'm creating some float variables, which basically a float is a number, but it doesn't have to be a whole number. It can have a fractional value. So I'm just creating these floats because a match is going to have how an elapsed time. That's how much time has passed during the match, and also a half length. Half length says, well, every match has two halves, and each half is of equal length. So for the game, we might need I don't know, maybe 5 minutes halves, 10 minutes halves. I mean, nobody wants to play a video game with literal 45 minutes halves to a match. So I'm creating this variable type, this variable called half, to just tell me basically half can only have three values: first, second, and extra. The first half, second half, and extra time. So that's why I created it this way, as opposed to a float. A float can have a wide range of numerical values. So, and I'm just thinking of this on the spot. Like, some of it will have to be adjusted as I go on, because eventually I'm going to see that I can't use it the way I intended to unless I change certain things. But for now, we're just going to say that at the beginning of the game, the half defaults to first half, because of course you never actually start a game in second half or during extra time. You always start it in first half. So basically at this point I've created the match type, meaning what points and time basically means you can either win a match when time is up and you have the highest score, or you can win a match when you're the first to score a certain number of points. So if you play Smash Bros, that would be time and stock matches. And if you're creating a match for the first time, you have to give us the match type and whether it is a multiplayer match or not. That's why I've created this boolean called multiplayer, and it starts at false, meaning that by default you're playing single player. A boolean can only take two values, true or false. So let's see, what else do we need? So I realized we're going to need a template for teams because every match has to have two teams. So I'm going to create another C# script, another class, and we'll just call this one, well, team. Yeah, let's just call it team. So this is where we're going to write all our template code for what makes up a team. And then we would create a variable of type team in the match class, meaning that once we have a template for a team, then in the match class we're going to create a space to store the teams that are playing the current match. So again, remove template code, delete. And then I'll add my own code. I think I'll just fast forward this part again for you guys and then leave, of course developers will have access to see the full version and see all the code. And in the middle of the work I realized that I need another template again. So I need a character template because teams are made up of characters, they're made up of players, but I don't want to use the word player because Unity already has player as a default keyword for some of its code. So I'm calling them characters. So I'm going to create a template for what a character is so that I can put a series of characters in a team and then put a team in a match. So that's basically the way this templating style of development works. So in the template for teams, that's the team class, well, I've created one team called strikers, and well, I can't remember any of the other teams names right now, but let's just say we have a team of all-star bad guys, so all-star baddies. Yeah, and new character 10 in the square bracket basically means create a new array of 10 characters. And of course, you know what an array is. It's just a collection of objects. So yeah, I can remember one more team from the comics. At the very least, if I forget all the others, I can remember Lion FC. I remember them because the concept behind that team was so ridiculous. All the characters, all the players had massive facial hair. They literally looked like lions, like male lions. So I'm doing this in the team class, which is the template for the teams. Well, let's just see how it goes. So this is how you would create a match You give us the match type, you tell us whether or not it's multiplayer, then you give us team 1 and team 2. And you see team written in light blue because I had to create the teams first. So when I say I had to create the teams first, I created a template for teams. That's why I can call teams here. So now if the match is a multiplayer match, then basically team 2 should be the how do I put this? Team 2 can either be player 2's team or team 2 can be the computer's team. So if it's a multiplayer match, team 2 is the computer's team. But I'm commenting this out and making it a to-do because I haven't actually created a variable for player 2 yet. Player 2 doesn't exist anywhere in my code. So I'll just leave that as a to-do so that I'll remember to do it later. And then, so if multiplayer is false, then team 2 should be the AI's team. Yeah, so that's basically the plan. This is the game manager, by the way. It's the script I've created to manage all the other scripts I've created. So when we switch back to Unity, you can see on the bottom, or on the right of the screen, you can see we have player 1 team, player 2 team, and AI team, all as arrays on the game manager script. You can see game manager in bracket script. So I'm going to drag Shegs in here and drag this other dude, maybe Cool Joe, in there, or Big Bo. Yeah, so point being, right now Big Bo and Shegs are in this team, so I should be able to pass the ball to Big Bo, but I shouldn't be able to pass to Cool Joe or Twisting Tiger because I haven't actually added them to the team yet. So let's just test it. I'll just hit the pass button now. Yep, it went to him. So now I'm going to move closer to the other player and try to give him the ball. Actually, to make it more obvious, I'm going to stand to his right and then try to pass him the ball. And you see it goes right past him and goes to the only player on my team. So basically my code is working. It only passes to the people I've added to my team. So now let me just add the other two guys, Cool Joe and Twisting Tiger, to the team. Yeah, see, now the pass is working. I can now pass to Cool Joe. I didn't add Twisting Tiger to the team yet, so I shouldn't be able to pass to him even if I go all the way to the other side of the screen to where he is. And I don't know why they call him Big Boy. I mean, it's supposed to be Big Boy or something, but well. Alright, so I guess I don't need some of these anymore. Yeah, don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. I'm going to leave that one. So basically, by commenting something out, you make it it's the text is still in your code, but it doesn't count as part of the code. It's readable by you, but it doesn't do anything. The compiler doesn't read it. And that's useful for us programmers when we either want to remove some code that we might need to put back later, or when we need to tell ourselves what we were thinking when we wrote something, what something does. So basically, when we're like, okay, I'm going to put this code here, but this is what this code is going to do. So you write the code, then you put a comment explaining what the code does, so that next time when you go through your code, you know what you're actually doing. So yeah, I'm just going to rename these variables to player 2 team and AI team, and I think we can end this video here. So please subscribe, like this video,